Greetings everybody, this is Nancy Anahita Aurora. I'm here at Grounding, 7 Main Street, Florence, Mass. And I'm here with your weekend vibes. This is for all water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, for June 8th through June 10th. So I'm going to dive right in. I feel like the Aries moon for you guys is a little bit more challenging than for some of the other signs. And I feel like Friday is a more difficult day for you guys. For some of you, it's work-related. For some of you, it's relationships. And again, this is a general reading, so if you want something more specific, be in touch at Groundings, or my email is motherhoodoflight@gmail.com. But yeah, so we've got the Emperor here, and I feel like, well, I'm just getting that it's this is a person for you guys that is either a boss or could be a love relationship, but there seems to be, especially the masculine energy being embodied by somebody in your life, and there seems to be some rigidity around that, and kind of wanting to do things their way. So I feel like that's coming through, and that and the reason for that kind of take on things is because the Five of Coins is also coming through with the Emperor, and so that's oftentimes the tarot card is showing a couple of people who are outside of a church in the winter, and they are in tattered clothes, they're poor, they're desolate, and just feeling left out, not being cared about, not being a part of things, not receiving the warmth and the nourishment and support that others are getting inside the church. And so there's a feeling of a disconnect with this person. And there's also the other card. These all popped out at once. The other card is the Two of Wands. So for some of you, you're thinking about, am I in or am I out? Am I leaving this job or am I staying? You're really thinking about, it's a crossroads. It's like, which direction do I go with this person? Whether it's an intimate relationship or a work relationship or a family member, which way am I going here? Am I still going to stay with this person even though we're going through the situation right now? Or is it time to move on? I also pulled the romance oracles for Friday, and I got Release Your Ex. So for some of you, this is a really kind of straightforward, it is time to go. And for some of you, it's the experience with a previous love relationship partner is influencing a current relationship, and the advice is to step back and look at how this person's pushing your buttons, because you've got a filter that you're seeing things through that might not be to your advantage, and there might be a need for doing some healing work there, or for seeing things differently. So there is some hope for integration. And there is the possibility that, well, we know 5 is always the number of change. And so this is a very changeable period with this situation. So some honest communication may pay off. Okay, moving on to Saturday, we've got the Three of Discs, which is 3 people working together, or it could be three sort of elements that you're bringing together for a project, but there's a lot of hard work and there's a lot of creativity. Either way, the energies get better, the vibes get better for Saturday, and that's because our moon is now moving into Taurus. And water and earth tend to blend pretty nicely. So I feel like that's going to be a more like kind of grounding and productive day, where you're starting to make some things happen, and your whatever plans that you've been bringing through, for some of you, that there's a collaboration with 3 people, whatever that's been about, is actually starting to come to fruition. It's really making itself known in a real concrete way in your life. We also have the Ace of Coins. So not only is there one project that's starting to become fulfilled, but there's an additional project coming through, that a new beginning in some way. It could be also new health, new wealth, but a new idea, a new plan that's really got a lot of potential for growth and in financial abundance is really coming through for a lot of you water signs on Saturday. There's really sort of like an aha moment, or a really innovative new idea is coming your way. This is followed by the Wheel of Fortune. So some of you guys are breaking these ties that are from Friday. I feel like you're having a breakthrough with old ways of doing, doing relationships or relating to someone else. It's, the wheel, when it comes up, that turning, that cycling is that you either have the choice of perpetuating the same patterns or really having a breakthrough and changing your paradigm. So for a lot of you, I'm feeling like with that Ace of Coins and the Wheel, that you're really going into a new consciousness with how you're doing things. Also, like the self-talk and how you work with yourself and the kind of language that you use with yourself. You also have the Two of Swords. And I feel that because these swords are kind of into the ground, I feel like there may be some challenges with communication or self-talk. But I also feel that it's you're mindfully slowing this process down and being objective, more objective about how you talk to yourself or how you're communicating with others. So even though you're, typically the Two of Swords is not being able to connect with your emotions and your thoughts, I feel like that you are making some progress here, water signs. I feel like there's a slowing down and a rethinking with that Wheel of Fortune of how you do that stuff, and so that there's a collaboration like from spirit in how you're communicating for the better, I think, generally. Now, the Romance Angels, which is also, I call them twin flame cards, heart-to-heart communication. So be honest with yourself first and foremost. I think there is a piece around being honest with yourself about your own feelings and where does that put things for you, and then taking a chance and having a communication that is more calm and grounded. And breaking old patterns so you can have a breakthrough in a relationship. There are some folks that are dealing with somebody who is not being honest, not being in integrity, but it also has to do with, a mask that they're wearing because there's also oftentimes addiction that's associated with this card and not being out of integrity and numbing oneself, with drugs or alcohol because the emotions are too painful. So for some of you, you're very much dealing with somebody who has got that stuff going on. So know that's a challenge that's coming up for you that's very real. And again, this is general, so some of you are having these problems, some of you are not. Not that they're problems, but something really significant that you're working through right now. Sunday is a much better day. King of Coins is coming through. So for some of you, this is somebody holding the male energy, but you've either had a communication with that Emperor and things are more manageable and more productive in that conversation, and there is actually some gains in terms of that communication. There's an improvement there. The Four of Cups is also aspected. So, I think that conversation isn't complete yet. But there, I think there is some kind of an evaluation of something that is still worth holding on to for some of you at least. This is also followed by the Six of Wands, which is the victory card in the traditional tarot. So for some of you, you're actually feeling like whatever communication has happened, it's paid off, and you have had that breakthrough, and it's been pretty successful. So, you know, being in integrity about your feelings has really helped to shift the conversation to something incredibly productive. For some of you water signs, I got the chemistry card in the Romance Angels. So for some of you, you're, I think, connecting to a new person. And you might be feeling, you know, some of you might not be feeling certain about this person, but I feel like some kind of something will be happening communication-wise that will help you to know that there is a connection there. That this person is interested in you. The chemistry that you're feeling for this person is a shared one. It's not just you that's feeling this way. So, water signs, I hope this has been helpful to you. It's been my pleasure to do this reading for you. Be in touch at motherhoodoflight@gmail.com, or you can go to Facebook, Anahita Aurora, or you can go to Groundings Tribe or Groundings LLC on Facebook to be in touch to set up a reading. And thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.